Good afternoon. I'm Rupa Pike. I am the Global Head of Strategic Alliances for Catalent, which is a CDMO organization. And my goal today is to talk about how we perform those CDMO organizations and how we come alongside our customers to empower their patients to get the therapies that they need. So just as setting the stage, CDMO organizations work with customers from all stages of clinical and commercial development, and having a partner that is flexible and provides customizable solutions is the best type of partner that cell therapy developers and gene therapy developers could have. Here's my agenda. I am going to talk about our gene therapy capabilities, our standalone analytical assay development capabilities, our global footprint for cell therapy services, and our case management services, which is actually our supply chain orchestration, which is very important for both gene and cell therapies. So this slide talks about our comprehensive gene therapy capabilities, which, as you can see on the left side, includes development, it includes drug substance manufacturing, drug product manufacturing, and packaging. In the gene therapy space, we have a deep expertise and proven track record for success. As you can see, we have worked with over 45 different cell therapy developers or companies. We are currently handling, and in the past, we've handled over 80 plus various gene therapy programs. And just as an example, in the last 12 months, we have actually manufactured over 2,000 batches. And then we also have cutting edge footprint, a global footprint for many facilities across the globe for gene therapy. Just to give you some examples, we have our plasmid manufacturing facility in Gosselies, Belgium. We have our early stage process development, scale up, clinical development, as well as commercial development in Maryland. We have our standalone analytical assay development facilities in Kansas City and Maryland. And most importantly, we have a very large footprint of a commercial facility at Maryland BWI. That facility has been approved by multiple regulatory agencies across the globe. And you can see all of the 25, there's not all the 35, but you can see a highlight of some of the therapeutic indications that we've been fortunate to work with our gene therapy developing partners. This slide actually talks about how we can support our gene therapy innovators, developers, and partners for all stages of manufacturing. So as you can see on the top, we can help pre-IND and early stage developers through process development and analytical assay development capabilities for their IND enabling studies. A few examples that I would like to point out in that space is we are always looking to help our partners with better solutions. An example is what we have developed in-house is the adeno-associated virus, or AAV, up-tempo platform. And the benefit of this platform is that we can actually manufacture or produce clinical materials in as little as 9 months, where traditionally it takes much longer. We also use our proprietary HEK293 cells, off-the-shelf AAV plasmids. We have pre-qualified analytical assays, and we have a fully transferable process, which actually helps in saving a lot of time and resources and being able to deliver this valuable product as needed. We also invest in advanced technologies, as you can see in the middle panel, And some of the examples of that advanced technologies towards improving viral vector yield and quality is we have next generation AAV RepCap plasmids, and we also have developed upstream process intensification capabilities that help in terms of technology and innovations. The bottom left, you can see full cycle support, where we are doing plasmid manufacturing to supply for clinical services. We also supply R&D material for early stage customers if they're doing animal studies, toxicology studies, or any other early stage related activities. And for clinical manufacturing, you can see that we provide, again, the full service for developing, manufacturing the product, having in-process assays, having release assays, and stability assays. And lastly, but not least, the most important aspect that we do is supporting our late-stage customers. And as you can see in the slide on the very right side, we have done a lot in the space of late stage to support our late-stage customers. And the first panel actually shows that we have 15 plus late-stage programs and PPQ that we have supported. Then we also have a commercial track record of supporting over 2,000 batches. And then again, as I mentioned, we have state-of-the-art facilities for commercial manufacturing that has global approval from multiple regulatory agencies. And we also have our storage and packaging and distribution facility, which is very close, which is in Philadelphia. So this is how we are empowering our gene therapy partners to deliver what they need to deliver to help the patients. This is our regulatory experience. As an example, I'm showing gene therapy, but we also have the same regulatory experience when it comes to our cell therapy partners. So for cell therapy, we can support from pre-IND all the way through post-approval. You can see the list of all the activities that we can do in-house to support from a regulatory perspective. And the very bottom panel shows that so far, 8 pre-approval inspections have been had, and 3 general inspections have been had at our facility successfully by 2020. And then we have a lot more activities going on for audits and late-stage commercial manufacturing in the facilities that I just mentioned. So I'm switching gears now. The next couple of slides, I would like to talk about our standalone analytical assay development services. As I mentioned, they are mainly from the Kansas City team. This is an example of gene therapy analytical experience. So far, the team, which is very, very experienced in developing and optimizing standalone assays, has handled over 12 gene therapy programs. They also specialize in the middle panel, as you can see, method development, method optimization, evaluation exercises. They can also do method validation and qualification based on where the clinical or the commercial phase is. So it could be qualification and or validation as the program moves forward, and also method acquisition and tech transfer. The team that is very experienced has handled viral vectors, non-viral vectors, and also lipid particles, which is becoming more and more common. And the next slide is also about the analytical capabilities. As you can see that the team at the Kansas City location, they can do potency assays, purity assays, in the identity assays, stability testing, and also compendial assays as and when needed. Next, I'm going to talk about our global cell therapy network. As you can see, we have a global footprint. I'm going to talk about the right side first. We have 2 centers of excellence for cell therapy. One is in Europe, in Gosselies, Belgium, and the second one is in Princeton, New Jersey. And both these centers of excellence can handle early process development, process optimization, tech transfer, clinical manufacturing as well as commercial manufacturing. Then the very left side panel, you can see that we have invested through our Düsseldorf, Germany facility in R&D and early stage development. And this is focused on induced pluripotent stem cells. Many of you have heard of these. These are cells that are used as starting material for many of the allogenic therapies or regenerative medicine type therapies. And that is our iPSC Center of Excellence. It is purely dedicated to developing all of our iPSC portfolio and off-the-shelf iPSC cell banks as well as cell lines. So coming back to our experience in the cell therapy program. So we have proven expertise in the cell therapy program. We have handled over 80 programs so far. We have manufactured successfully 250 allogenic batches, 350 autologous batches. We have worked with 10 different cell types. Some of them are listed at the bottom, the very common cell types, which is CAR T cells, TCRs, TIL therapies for solid tumors, regulatory T cells, NK cells, dendritic cells for cancer vaccines, and then in the regenerative medicine space, mesenchymal stem cells, hematopoietic stem cells, iPSCs, and embryonic stem cells. And there's many more. These are just the most common ones that we have handled. We have worked with over 75 different cell therapy companies, and we have done 40 plus tech transfers. And those tech transfers can be between our sites, between the customer site and our site, or also a tech transfer back after developing a process to the customer sites because they have their own brick and mortar GMP facility. This slide actually talks about cell therapy process development capabilities. As I mentioned, we have process development, process optimization capabilities at both our sites in Princeton, New Jersey, as well as in Gosselies, Belgium. And it's a global PD network. Even though the PD labs are at the site, which makes it most convenient, we would have the global network so we can optimize the assays as needed. We work with early and late stage. We have experienced scientists, and we also have all the best-in-class instruments and technologies. This slide specifically talks about GMP iPSC cell lines. So I mentioned to you that we do this work in Düsseldorf, and we have actually generated our own iPS cells that are available as off-the-shelf treatment. This is just to show you that we can generate iPSCs, we can characterize them, and they have the ability to differentiate into all 3 germ layers in many different cell types. They're highly pluripotent, they are cryopreservable, they have a high purity, they can differentiate into a variety of cell types, and you can have over 40% efficiency if you're doing gene editing studies. And this is the off-the-shelf iPSC cell lines. We have 5 that are ready to be tested by our partners. We license them out in an R&D mode, even though they're GMP, so our partners can test them, and if they work for them, then they come back to us and get GMP license. As you can see, we have European donors as well as American donors. And I'm happy to report that actually one of the European donor-derived cell line has been approved by the FDA to go into an IND for one of our partners. And we have a handful of partners that have submitted INDs using our iPSCs as starting material. In the last few minutes that I have, I want to emphasize case management services. So as you know, cell therapies and gene therapies are very nuanced, and case management or supply chain orchestration, which sits under our case management banner, is not a support system. It is actually a lifeline. And if something can go wrong, a single deviation, a single delay can put an impact on the product and therefore impact on the patient. Catalent, as a CDMO, understands the importance of this and the sensitivity. So we have our case management services or our supply chain orchestration services, which actually we consider as a differentiation for a CDMO. And this white glove service actually offers dedicated case manager who stays on your case 24/7, can have manufacturing slots ready for you, can do distribution, as well as monitor the temperature. We also have very strong ties with many premium vendors that allows us to then have the journey of the cells or the GMP viral vectors in a seamless manner all the way through. So case management services is a very important component of managing the movement of raw material, starting material, as well as the final product. And this is my last slide. So as I mentioned earlier, we are very patient-centric. One of our most important core values is we put patient first in everything we do. So patient is at the center of all our work. And how do we do that? We have a partnership model that is built on trust, transparency, and open communication. We are flexible. We are intentional about offering tailored solutions instead of cookie-cutter solutions. We are platform agnostic. We will take any platform for manufacturing that you have. We have expertise, infrastructure, and global footprint, and we can seamlessly transition from clinical to commercial. We focus on internal innovation and using advanced technologies to help our partners. And then we have supply chain orchestration service, which is very important to both cell and gene therapies. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.